My sincere wish is that Trump does not surround himself with too many career politicians and instead thinks about changing the way we talk about our country from the way it has been done in the past, which is to either stop requiring public companies to report quarterly or start acting more like that, which is where Bitcoin will really come into its own, I believe. And just like today, people will start to notice the difference between Bitcoin and everything else. I could have bought or sold $1 billion worth of Bitcoin today without any problems because Bitcoin did not shut down today. Yeah, that's a huge deal. The CEO of Cardone Ventures, Gary Cardone, expresses his desire for Donald Trump to abandon old-fashioned politics and adopt more open and honest methods of management. He implies that Bitcoin has the potential to be a game changer in this transformation. In contrast to other assets and conventional financial systems, Bitcoin has shown no signs of being impacted by the recent market troubles, which highlights its dependability and power, according to Cardone. He mentions that Bitcoin's reliability permits trouble-free large-scale transactions. Compared to less stable or restrictive financial systems, this one has a lot of advantages. Now watch this video of Gary Cardone discussing his current political and Bitcoin stance at Monster. Dude, Bitcoin. Wow, what does that tell you about the beast? Hey, the market was closed. Oh, and this is a 1-hour chart. It's rocking up $3,000. The stock market isn't up to par, but this news is really powerful. Someone in the discussion was talking about the reserve at 6 a.m., by the way. The price of Bitcoin was $3,733 earlier today, and it's now $664. So when Bitcoin goes up $3 or $4,000, everyone gets scared. When it goes down, it's a $3,000 move. I don't see why people get nervous about Bitcoin, but it's working. I need you to tell me if you can see all of these because I'm currently viewing them on your screen. The market is moving Ethereum, and Ethereum is up 2%. And look at this D. Well, the small 10% today wolfed up 7.4%. Cypher is up 5%. I mean, I could keep going. D-Core is up 3%. Cores are UP.2%. And Micro Strategy is up 11%. Starting last Friday at 218 and now at 256, Coinbase has enjoyed a spectacular rise this week. NV is down 2% when the rest of the market is down, which is really impressive. If you look at this chart, you'll see that it just randomly breaks out, like this one here, AD. This Cardano is just one more material that ADM uses. I'm not a fan of Cardano, but I do think things are about to change. So it's intriguing to me that someone with a background in politics is just as bewildered as I am. Sorry, ADM, but the ad is up. Oh, and there are riots going on in 3 places in the UK right now. The leader is a very angry man. Okay, people are mad. I don't think this is limited to the United States. The fact that Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash were unaffected by this CP of bullet 247 is fascinating to me, and it explains why people all throughout the world are quite angry. Let me get this Bitcoin price history straight. When it goes up 3 grand, nobody talks about it. When it goes down 3 grand, everyone freaks out. The entire market took a beating and Bitcoin was all crying. Who is this Microsoft? We'll show you what an outage looks like. I think this is all coincidental. I've got a bridge to sell you. I got a bridge to sell you of man, because like, I don't believe in coincidences. The CIA doesn't believe in coincidences. The NSA doesn't believe in them. The US military doesn't believe in coincidences. This is no coincidence. And my prediction is we will have another incident. Biden will be dead or retire. I really hope Trump stays away from too many professional politicians and really looks it approaching the way we communicate about our country differently than we've been doing it, which is either change all the public companies and don't make them quarterly report, or we start behaving more like that. Some transparent, honest, auditable. This is Bitcoin did not shut down today. That's a big deal. Yeah, okay, it was totally unimpacted. I could have bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin today. I could have sold $1 billion worth of Bitcoin today, no problemo, and settled, by the way, perfectly settled. So this is why I'm getting so involved. I'm concerned. Everybody should be concerned. Everybody should vote for sure. And if you're Democrat, I would actually, instead of bitching about what we're doing, I would actually, Brian and Ed, Dead Crenson, whoever the you punks are, you guys might want to actually go to work for the Bidens instead of just sitting there chirping, getting your $20 super chats or whatever you're getting, and actually go to work in the administration and do something instead of just being a chitter chatter box about it. But I'm pretty sure that you don't really have any skills to go do anything to help the government, but we for sure need some really smart people to go and work in the government. The guys we have working in the government right now are not qualified. Now, how do I know that? Just look at the stats, man. The stats alone, okay, like they're bad. Is there anything worth bragging about happening in California? Aside from the weather, it's a terrible place to live. Okay, here's another turning point. Michael Saylor's pivot in his business, massive pivotal change. He realized, dude, I'm grinding against the wrong thing. I'm me and a lose here. And he makes this massive pivot going on to make a shitload of money. The question is, are you prepared to make a pivot? Can you execute a pivot? Can you understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and when you're doing it? And how does your base understanding of the world and your own emotional response and IQ play a role in you being able to pivot? Most large entities can't pivot. Most entities, this would be the Democrats, they get so locked in on their messaging, they can't pivot. I see people like my twin brother in Legacy Finance, he can't pivot into Bitcoin because he's like, there's something I don't understand. Yeah, exactly. Once he fully understands it, though, he'll be like, oh, I need to pivot, right? He's just being held on to some gravity. So this gravity, even in your mission statement, it holds you up. So Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, be a really good show presently. It's a very much, would you agree, it's a much more diverse group of people. And that show up here, it's really fun intellectual conversation because it really everyone who comes up, it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining on an educational level.
Yeah.
And the guy that I do this with, guys, is a guy named Hip Slap One on Spaces. He studies the subject every year. He and I make a really we're a good pair. Actually, for that show, so 11 a.m. on Spaces. Hope you're there, Sam. The show's direction and your thoughts on it are important to me. Gary, I apologize, but I have two things to say before the show ends. Anything that comes up this weekend, we're probably going live with two. You have an assignment today, and it's to do something extremely kind for somebody. It can be something small or something enormous. Offer you a suggestion, help an old lady out of the grocery store put her groceries in her car for and say thank you. Oh, she's going to thank you. No, ma, thank you for letting me help you see. When I'm of service to someone, I actually feel good, and I should be thanking someone to allow me to help them. The other thing I need to do is allow other people to help me. Like sometimes it's cool for me to ask for help. I raise my, hey, I need some help, and people that ask me for help, actually it's a compliment, and it tells me the other person wants to improve. So the only way I'm going to actually make other people more valuable to themselves if I'm willing to accept some help from them. So it's okay. Like sometimes the thing you can do really nice for someone is to ask them, hey, can you give me some positive input about myself, or anything. You could do this with your daughters, okay, or your sons or whoever, but just be nice to somebody you can't tell. Anybody.